Alrighty.
Okay.
응답하라 Yeochin. Go to the into the she.
Back to the gang to the Jew. Hey.
Little pep in our step.
Jane, I am older than you.
Not by a lot. I'm right behind you.
You're what? 30?
39.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I just realized?
Yeah.
You are the same age as my brother-in-law.
Oh.
But you're a mom of 2 kids. He is a single bachelor who is, oh my goodness. Like, I don't know. I don't think, you know what? It's okay that I say this. He's acknowledged that I don't think he'll ever get married.
And that's okay.
No, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. But the reason I think there's just too many girls chasing him.
Uh-huh. Well, he's a very good-looking man.
Don't say that out loud, Jane. He knows
I
it.
just did. Yeah, I'm sure he
doesn't need to hear it. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's so funny that you say that, though. You're like,
I mean, he's a head turner. What can I say?
I have had friends that are like, oh, and I'm like, girl. Not that I want to be ageist, but they're like, I'm 40. I guess we're not that many years apart.
No.
You're right, because you're 39 and I'm
Yeah.
42. But I don't know. Like, I've known him since he was in high school.
Beyond the exterior.
He's
so.
like my little brother.
Yes.
So, like, when friends like asked me to hook them up with him, I'm like,
have
no.
you?
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. No.
Because you're looking out for your friends.
I'm looking out for me. I don't want that. I don't want to be caught in any middle of no.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
No. But now that I'm in the 40s, like all these, you have to be so fucking in tune with your body. No.
That is not what I want to hear.
Oh my God. I know, Jane. I know. I hate hearing.
Yeah.
I am so
It's true though.
fucking sensitive to how much I sleep, how much I drink. Like,
well, you have been posting videos on your TikTok about like my banchan diet of trying to eat less white rice, and I'm watching these while I'm eating my white rice. And
it hasn't hit you yet, Jane. Enjoy it. Like, it is. I swear to God, I eat a bowl of rice and it goes straight here. And you know, so frustrating. I'm not even like, it's not even, okay, of course I want to be skinny. Who doesn't fucking want to be skinny? But it's not even about that. It's actually like for health reasons. The worst fat you can have as a woman on your body is the belly fat. And because belly fat is directly correlated with like heart disease. And all my fat goes straight to my belly. And I'm like, that's so fucking unfair, because if it went to my boobs or ass, I would be fine.
But I think
weight.
It goes to your belly now because we're of that age. Because I noticed that for sure.
No. I've always gained weight here.
Okay.
I feel like I was born with the pooch.
I didn't.
I think I never lost my belly baby fat.
Well, I didn't always have a pooch. It showed up.
Bitch, you don't have a
No,
pooch.
I do. But it wasn't my problem area until recent years.
Now, well, let me tell you, you hit 40s.
Yeah.
And it fucking like grows in rapid speed.
And then when you get menopause.
No, Jane, stop. we're staying present. Okay. I can't even handle the present moment, let alone go to menopause. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Okay, so what else? What else have you noticed?
Well, then I'm just like, oh my God, I started to freak out. Like, am I pre-diabetic? Because I've been feeling so sluggish. And like, I'm so hyper aware of things I was never worried about in my 20s. In my 20s, I could drink all night.
Yeah.
Get up at 8 a.m. And go to fucking work. I remember I was a studio portrait photographer and I had all these like, oh my God, like children's appointments back to back. And
that is so much energy.
Yeah. And I was like, hey. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Kids. Tears of Patron were coming out of my face. I kid you not. I reeked of alcohol. I was like, it's gonna be fun. And they're like, why is the lady crying? Because I was out all night partying and I got up at 8 and then I came back home after work and just fucking zonked out, right?
Yeah.
And then I could repeat.
We could do that though.
We never, like, I was like, oh, good life. Having the best time of our lives.
Bounce right back.
Now, a bottle I'm like, I'm teetering. A bottle of wine, not Patron.
Okay, I was like, a bottle of what? Because
a bottle of wine, which was nothing, is now I'm like, do I really want? I have to calculate it. Like, okay, have I? Even when I'm having fun, I'm like, drink water, Ellen. There's like an inner monologue going of like having to monitor because the next day hangover is a fucking bitch. Yeah. And did I tell you that I got vertigo? From a hangover? The world was spinning from a fucking hangover.
That's how I experience hangovers, though.
Really?
I feel dizzy.
No. The room was completely spinning.
Yeah.
And when I got up, it was still spinning. I went to tennis one day. It was still spinning. And it was scary.
And you won the match,
probably. I did win the match.
I mean, you are one of a kind.
I was like, oh my God. Like, ooh. Yeah. The lines are
performance enhancing.
I was playing loose. But now, it's not even just me. My husband.
And he's very trim. He looks healthy.
He is the lean.
Yeah.
Of the. So my like objective in like monitoring my weight is make sure to be under his weight, because I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm gonna be fatter than you.
Oh, okay.
I mean, because he's taller, right?
He's taller.
Yeah, but I'm like, that's my measure of like ratio, which I'm like, I will not be the fatter one between.
So instead
us.
of like trying on your favorite jeans, you're like
that's
standing
my
next
to. I'm like, how much do you weigh right now?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna exceed that.
Yeah,
because he's got more height. But he is such a fragile man. He already was. I'm sorry, honey, but you are a weakling.
Fragile literally in body.
Oh my God. He has the worst vision. He literally is blind without his glasses. He had asthma when he was a kid. He had the inhaler for a long time. He finally like could go without.
Does he have a lot of allergies?
Oh, he cannot breathe right now.
Oh,
it annoys the fuck out of me. I'm like, what is wrong with you? He's like, allergies.
Yeah.
Can you do something about that? And then he takes medication. He's like, oh, the medication. I can't sleep. I'm just like, oh my God, get it together, man. I'm such a horrible wife. And he's just like, everything is bothering him. Everything. Like, he is such, what else? Oh, and when we first met, when we were in college, he was hospitalized for Crohn's. And he was like, you never came to visit me in the hospital. I'm like, I don't want to see a weak man. I didn't say that, but I was like, was it that serious? He's like, yeah, I was like, and it was serious. He was.
God, Crohn's is serious.
He passed out in the bathroom. Like in a public bathroom, and I think like,
is he still dealing with
no?
Crohn's? Okay.
So then I almost feel like it was a misdiagnosis because he never had a flare up.
It's usually
after that.
Chronic.
Yeah. So I'm like, I feel like something else happened because how do you usually when you discover you have Crohn's, it gets worse. Not like it's latent, right? Yes. Anyways, he's always like, and then last time his liver enzymes were too high, and this he recently went to the doctor. And his blood pressure and cholesterol are at an alarming level. Like, boop. Like, when you do the, the pressure test, it's like beeping red.
What?
Yeah.
I would never imagine that.
I know.
Looking at him.
He doesn't drink as much as me. He doesn't eat as much as me. I will say, though, like, the Filipino diet, the Filipino culture is very meat heavy, I feel. And, like, it is a thing for Filipinos, I believe. Like, high blood pressure, high cholesterol does run in those genes. And his mom.
Okay.
Also, it could be genetic.
Yeah. I mean, I have to watch out, too, because both of my parents have had high blood pressure and high cholesterol. And my mom is very thin. And
I know, and that's why it's like so confusing.
It's genetic and, like a high sodium diet.
Yeah.
Salt is my vice. Salt, not sugar.
I love savory.
Salt is my vice.
Yeah.
Salty.
You don't have
spicy.
a sweet tooth.
No.
Yeah, we're both savory.
Yep.
I love spice. I love salt.
Yes.
So now he's all telling me like, oh my God, like he's at for his age and what his like reading is showing him, he could have a heart attack. He could have a stroke. And it's like freaking me the fuck out.
Does he exercise? Does he do cardio? Does.
But it's, like now I'm like, okay, you have to eat more.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, could it just been a fluke? So he bought. Yes. He had to buy a thing, and he measures everything. He's like,
the blood pressure.
It's high, and I'm like, oh my God.
I know. Well, he can really manage that, but you have to. It's not fun.
It's so not fucking fun.
Down the diet.
He's like, oh, I have to eat this avocado salad. I'm like, yeah. Bitch. Now we're doing it together. We're doing it for different reasons. We're on a diet together. Yeah. It's the same. But he's like doing it for health, and I'm like trying to for superficial reasons, but whatever.
Yeah.
But it's
not superficial because it's...
well, yeah. It's still related to where my fat just all gathers, and I feel sluggish. I don't feel great. So I'm like having to actively... But this is all hitting me.
Yeah.
This is what 40s is.
Yeah.
And it's...
You're right.
It sucks.
It does. Oh my God.
I don't mind getting old. I feel like, I've gotten a lot wiser. I've never been this, I know it doesn't look that way, but I've never been this calm. I know this doesn't look like calm, but this is me calm. There's so many things I enjoy having gotten to this level, but it's the physical things.
But it is very sobering because it's almost like you hit 40 years old. Okay, do you remember? I remember when my dad turned 40, I got him a card that says, like, hooray, you're over the hill now.
You got him that at 40?
Yeah.
I thought you were supposed to wait till 50.
It was a 40th birthday card. But again, that's not what we would say nowadays because 40 is, like, what would you say? 50 is a new 40? Like,
it's so bizarre.
But when it comes to health issues, there's certain things that our bodies do and go through, and it is a very I think it's good. I think it's your body's way of saying, look, you have decades more ahead of you and you need to pay attention to these things. So it's kind of like that midlife health check, like a car, right? Like service light comes on. That's your service light. It's like you need to pay attention to this. I saw this.
I saw this comedian do this joke. He was like, when you were younger, you were worried about like, partying like too hard with drugs and like hanging out with the wrong people that could get you in, now I step on a step stool and I get scared. Oh no. And it's a legit fear.
It's a legit fear. I know. It's not even funny.
It's not funny. It's funny, but not funny because it's so real.
Senator Joe Lieberman.
Huh?
Senator Joe Lieberman.
Yeah.
He died this week.
I did not know that.
And it was from like
a step
his
stool?
Health, no, not from a step stool, but his health deteriorated after a fall, which is how it happens.
I know.
Our balance and everything becomes,
the balance thing is so fucking real. Like I can't believe I fucking lose balance sometimes, and I feel like those commercials like, oh help, I can't get up. You think
we used to laugh at that. The Life Alert commercials.
Now I'm like, do I need one? Isn't
I know.
That is talk about sobering reality.
I don't know if you've gone to the basement in our house, but the stairs are very shallow. I worry that, and when we have parents come and visit,
stairs kill people, Jane.
I know. I'm like, please. I feel like a mom of a little baby saying like, be careful when you go down.
I'm
watching
them. Very valid fear.
And I'm scared about myself too, because you get so used to it, right? And you just like run down those stairs, and that.
I have legit slipped on the stairs, and oh my God,
it's a very, very
because we have the carpeted stairs,
and
it gets when you're in a rush,
it gets matted, especially when you're wearing socks. And then if the stair itself is shallow, like our basement stairs are pretty shallow and steep. So you got to be very alert.
God, there was this one actor. I think he was in a Star Trek movie, the modern ones. And he like, I can't remember if like the car rolled over him. It was like parked in an uphill and he like died from...
Oh my God, my jaw dropped.
You just fucking random shit happens no matter what age, but stairs is lethal. Sorry.
Yeah,
my
really
ADHD brain just like unlocked that memory because we were talking about the fact that we have to worry, even just like going around the corner.
Yeah.
Did I tell you one time? I don't think you came to the show when I did it. So there's also like the fear of all these health problems because I'm old, but then I'm a natural klutz anyway. So this was like, I think in my 30s, and I was like done with the shoot, and I was like, I gotta go. All of a sudden, I felt like someone grabbed both my legs and just pulled them. And I went, like, just ate. And I was like, I was terrified. I was like, I thought I was getting kidnapped in broad daylight in fucking Bellevue.
What actually
and
happened?
I just laid there.
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna happen? Like, I froze.
Yeah.
You know what happened? You know those things that hold a pack of newspaper? If they bring it to the grocery store and it's like a little plastic.
Yes.
So that
the plastic.
round,
What do you call that?
like it's not a string, but it's a thing that holds a pack of. That was on the ground, and somehow I managed to put one foot and the other foot, and then fucking like lassoed myself.
Yeah.
And thought that I was getting kidnapped, and like just laid there like kidnappers take me.
You didn't get hurt?
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sure
like
you did.
my chest hurt because I hit the ground with my chest.
Oh my goodness, like knocked the wind out of you.
I'm a natural disaster already, Jane.
But I'm a klutz too.
You're not.
Yes, I am. Why do you not believe me?
You look at you. There is not a hair out of.
I have eaten it so many times, just
do
on the
not
sidewalk.
believe you.
Yeah, in college, I would fall like rainy day, slip on my butt. Yeah. And both of my kids are klutzes too.
I don't believe you.
I think a fall, if I make it to 70, 80, a fall will for sure take me out.
Knock on wood, don't say shit like that, Jane.
I'm just saying I'm prone to that.
Blake, do you believe this shit? You do not exude any kind of klutziness whatsoever.
I work very hard because I've had to work very hard about like be aware of your surroundings because I have not always been good about like body awareness, spatial awareness, things like that.
Oh my God.
But you're good at tennis. I'm not. Yeah.
I know. You would think that would translate to no, it doesn't. Speaking of, okay, I know we're just going off tangent here, but just because you said that, being aware, did you on one day, I saw 3 TikToks from 3 women in New York getting punched in the face.
I saw that TikTok. I saw one of the TikToks.
I saw all 3 in one fucking day. Yeah, one with like a fucking egg on her head.
I was very confused by that.
Why?
Like, a white girl getting punched on the sidewalk out of
nowhere. The other 2 girls were white too, weren't they?
That's so weird to me.
And
what is happening?
All because they were looking down their phone.
Is it they're just not aware?
No. Like they were just they were just going, looking at their phone. I don't know if I don't think it's the same man, but like there must be some mentally unstable people out there that are just like pissed at the world and women just being on their phones. Yeah. And it's also been a tool, right? Like to be like, I'm not going to engage with catcalling and just like look at my phone.
True, but I have never. I don't.
You don't do that? You don't look at your phone while walking?
No, I look straight ahead.
Oh, wow.
I feel like I have to do that as a non-white woman.
You should. Right. I definitely am guilty of looking at my phone.
I'm like, I look straight ahead and have my peripheral vision like
very
wide
good.
open.
Yeah. I think I had a friend tell me that she was looking at her phone. Someone snatched her phone. And so, it was alarming.
That's scary. That's alarming.
To see... Not back to back, but in the same day, I saw 3 different videos and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I know.
So not only as a woman that's aging, do I have to worry about just the natural aging process, but I also just have to worry as a woman. And then on top of that, a woman of color. Like, how am I supposed to live,
intersectional creatures. I know. Like, yeah, I know.
It's exhausting.
It is.
Where do I go from here? Do I just take like Xanax and just be like,
you're doing it. You're being more mindful about what you eat.
ugh.
You're
It takes
being
the
alert
fun
when you
out
walk.
of life.
I mean,
I am good at finding.
I think you
my
have to.
ways.
Yes, you have to be in a safe environment, and then you can have fun.
It's just a reminder that death is near.
It's a reminder of our
No,
mortality.
Dan, you're supposed to walk me off the cliff, not say, yes, you're right. What kind of friend are you?
I will
just
always
said
be the
death is near, and you
yeah.
should have been like, no, Ellen, you got so much time ahead of you. Instead, you're like, yes, it is.
No, I mean, what is Adonis doing to? Was he alarmed?
Oh, yeah. He's fucking, like, depressed. He's like, he's telling me all about his woes. Like, oh, my God. Like, I don't even drink as much as you. Like, why did this become, like, a comparison? It became judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
He told the kids. He sat the kids down and was like, Daddy cannot have candy with you anymore. And I was.
Is that a big thing for him?
Oh, yeah. And I had been side-eyeing him a bit. I was like, he was going after their tennis, after they have their little thing. They go to the candy store. They buy a giant thing of Nerds, a giant thing. I'm like, what the fuck is he doing with all this fucking candy?
Yeah.
And then he was telling me this, like, I sat the kids down and we had to talk about candy.
Oh.
And then I was like, well, you should be cutting that. He goes, but it's Easter weekend. I'm like, priorities?
Yeah. Like, I remember as a kid, my parents went through a phase. We went through a phase where we all got punished because my parents got some sobering health news.
Yes. Do you remember? How old are you?
Maybe like late elementary, early middle school. We went through a phase where we only ate fish for dinner.
It must have been high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And high cholesterol.
Yeah. They saw like this Eastern medicine doctor who tells you what your 체질 is. What's 체질 in English?
Physique.
Type.
Yeah.
So what kind of protein best suits your type? Where your body, you can't have beef because that's not your type. Your body will not, digest it well or metabolize it, whatever. My parents were both fish, and they were like, this is so fortunate. We're both fish 체질. And so we're going to eat fish every day.
They both like
that
fish.
was like a really sad few years. I do like fish now.
Yeah.
But as a kid, it was only that.
And that's the thing. Adonis is sensitive to fish.
And that's like healthy for him, like the salmon.
Yeah, but he
needs to have some steamed salmon.
Oh my God, if he eats
asparagus.
too much poke, like there's like this is what I'm talking about, a fragile man. It has to be like just one portion. If he exceeds a certain amount, he gets a stomachache. He's so temperamental. Like, I'm like, it's 너무 약한 체질. Such a weak physique.
조금 힘든 체질.
And you saw his brother, right? Hard. He's like brother's big and tall. My husband is the Chicken Little of that brotherhood. Like, he's so cute. That's what I like. I like a lean man, but it's it's really tough right now. And like now and then the kids, right? Like, that's so funny you say that, because I'm like, why should the kids be punished? Like, they're in their prime time.
My parents are not going to make two different dinners.
I do.
We may have the food that we eat and the food that we
I feel like
give the kids, but
why should they suffer?
Yeah.
Because but you know what? I'm such a bad parent, and I hate that I even do this. I do make them separate meals because they like such different things.
Yeah, why is that a bad parent?
You know,
do what works for your family.
Well, there's parents that are like, we make a whole family meal and you eat. And if you're not going to eat it, then supposedly that method makes your kids just eat whatever. But like, they have Sawyer likes cheese on everything. He freaking loves all kinds of cheese, and he'll be like, can I have Parmesan cheese on top of this, other cheese? Gavin does not care for cheese. Udon bowls all day. Like, one's like Asian and one's white. And like, I feel each of them have their own personalities and own taste buds. And I want to like.
I feel like they would love P.F. Chang's then.
Yeah.
They do?
Both, well, we don't go there, but I think they would.
Yeah.
And they love Panda Express. They both love
sense.
Panda Express.
Makes sense.
But we don't go there.
Yeah.
So
also probably not great to go if you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol.
We can't now. We definitely can't now. Yeah. But it's like so many things to think about.
I know.
So when did life... I feel like our parents did not...
Well, I think some of it is also we live in the information era, so we know too much.
We do know too much. I am like Googling.
Yeah.
Like I want to remember back in the days when you wondered something and it just stopped there. You're like, I don't fucking know.
I tried to do that with my kids and I'm like, I don't know. They look at my phone.
They're like, look at me. They go, Alexa.
Can you look it up?
Yeah, Alexa.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Sawyer is glued to the Alexa. Alexa, what's 10 billion times 23 trillion? He'll just sit there and do that shit all day long. I'm like,
yeah.
Give Alexa a break.
I forget what we were trying to ask Siri today because ours is.
Oh, you have Siri.
Yeah. It was like, Siri, my kids were like, Siri, when's the next Friday the 13th? And she gave us some bogus answer. Like, it is Thursday, April, I just set her off right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But these kids are just, the information's at their fingertips. And
do you think, you saw the whole discussion, right? About why does Gen Z look so old?
I did see that discussion.
Remember, do you know that TikTok guy that goes, come here. Come here.
Yes, I love him. I love him. Yeah.
He's in his 20s.
I know. 26 or something like that.
I thought he was my age.
Yeah.
I thought he looked older than me.
Yeah. He does look older than you.
He's got a permanent dent.
Yes, he has like very lots of brow wrinkles.
Yeah. And he's I thought he was lying when he said he was 20 something. I was like, there's no way. But then it got the whole discussion about like, why does Gen Z look older? Do you think that? Do you think Gen Z looks older?
I think that insofar as kids, like, I think kids look more mature. Like, they don't have awkward phases anymore.
I don't think they do. Yeah,
I was awkward between 3rd and 9th grade.
Yeah.
But kids these days.
Do you think it's because of the digital age?
Yeah.
Because they're so savvy with information.
Yes.
And do you think it also, because I think that guy said, it's because I'm stressed. Because he knows too much.
So I think there's a weird mind-body thing going on where they're just more precocious.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, the Gen Zs who's they're working with now Gen Zs in the corporate world. They could often be in an organization where there's 4 or 5 different generations. They're working with millennials, Gen X, boomers, right? And so I think maybe in their minds, they're just operating a lot older. Something mind body is happening.
They're consuming everything.
Yes.
They feel like, I honestly feel
there's no because of the digital era. Like, I feel there's no finding out or coming
everything is at the fingertips.
Yes.
Google it.
Yeah.
Google's free. Google it.
Yes. And then also, there's a lot talking, I guess this is more prevalent among women, is they're going in a lot sooner for Botox and fillers. And
I know.
I think we've been conditioned to
so think it's been normalized.
A weird thing. So there's some women who are our age who are saying, we're going to lay off the Botox for a year and see if that actually makes us look younger. The natural age. Isn't that weird? It's like a weird flipping of the narrative.
Wow. Like, I can't believe we're already there.
We are there. Yeah, it's crazy.
Because I haven't done any Botox, but I've also seen women in their 20s saying, we're doing it now to be preventative.
But, I worked at a dermatologist's office when I was in college. And
I didn't know that.
I did, and there was a rep. There were reps for Botox or drug reps who would take out the office for lunch, or we would have informational luncheons.
Yeah,
and I was only 20 at the time, and there was a rep for Restylane, which is a common filler, and he would routinely ask me, okay, Jane, do you want to try it? Do you want to try it? And I would say, no. But that was the narrative back then too, is you started early and then it'll be preventative.
Filler where?
Lips.
Even this was what for you? 2000s?
Yeah, 2004, 2005.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I thought fillers was a now thing, but you were hearing about this in 2004.
Yeah. So I probably wouldn't have done it in 2004. I mean, it's so much more common now.
It's so prevalent now.
Yeah.
Like young girls are all getting fillers.
Yes.
And then they're like saying things like, I'm gonna try to go from a filler with like removal and see how it.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything, but what about the buccal fat removal?
Oh, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I think we've talked about it, but I think it makes you look older.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I like my plumpness, but is there, now that I know that you worked
what is this called?
What is yeah,
under our
buccal
chin,
fat.
the jowls.
I need
the jowls.
Is there a jowl removal?
No, I don't think. I'm sure there is. Or like they have lots of lasers that tighten down there. So I feel like there's more non-invasive methods.
You know,
short of a facelift.
I did think about what is it?
Liposuction, or
what does a BBL stand for?
Brazilian butt lift, I think.
Does that include like taking the fat out of your belly and putting it in your ass?
Oh, yeah, I've never researched this procedure.
So I had a friend who did that, and I was like, I actually looked into. I mean, I didn't like ask for her guy or anything, but I was like, I feel like that would be the most ideal thing for me. Because I would love a bigger
minimally
ass.
Invasive?
Or bigger boobs. If I could take this fat and put it here or here, I think that would be like the best thing ever.
Yeah.
However, the only thing that stopped me was that it's the most deadly
no, thank you.
procedure. Like the one with the highest risk.
Would you rather have a shorter life looking snatched or a longer life?
These are
just aging. I mean, these are important questions.
This is how old we fucking are.
Yeah.
The kids are be like, would you rather date a guy with the mustache, or would you rather, you know?
You know what my kids ask me?
What?
Would you rather have the mind of a 20-year-old or the body of a 20-year-old?
Your kids asked you that? That's so fucking deep.
I mean, so we thought we were like, oh, you know, we're eating dinner and like, let
your
me
kids
think
are how
about
old?
this. 10 and 8. So it was a 10-year-old who asked that.
I know, but that's fucking deep for a 10-year-old.
I don't know that they thought that it was deep when they asked it.
I wonder why they picked 20.
I don't know either. I mean, they think we are so old, right? I don't know what 20 to them is still probably so old, but I don't know why they asked me that.
But
I really had to think about it. I'm like,
wait, so ask
body
me again.
of a 20-year-old.
Ask me.
Body of a 20-year-old or the mind of a 20-year-old?
Oh fuck, body. Yeah. That's literally what I've been talking about.
This is where their thinking is not that deep, because we're like immediately body.
Yeah. But okay, so what do you think is going on in their mind when they're asking that? Like from a kid perspective, why do you think they ask that?
I think I literally think
they want a 20-year-old mind.
Maybe.
That's what they're wanting.
Their perspective.
Yeah, because they're like
better.
You know, because when you're that young, you just want to grow up fast.
Yeah, they're thinking like it's better to be older. We're like, it's better to be
imagine if
younger.
I'm in my body and I'm like got this 20-year-old mind, I'm gonna fucking rule the world.
Yeah, we're like, it's better to be younger, but physically, not.
But here we are at our age asking, do you want to live longer or have a snatched body? That's like, well, what would you do? What would you say? I want to live longer.
Live longer.
I want to see my kids have grandkids.
Grow up. Yeah.
I mean, I'm already living the unsnatched life.
Obviously, I don't want to be a vegetable. I want to have a fulfilling life longer.
No.
And it's okay if I'm a little soft.
Yeah. If I already told my husband, if it's ever come to like I'm in a vegetable state, just pull the plug.
Okay, that's a good conversation to have.
Like, have you had that conversation?
Not yet, but
I mean,
I've thought about it.
Had it, but like,
yeah,
wouldn't you?
I think so. I mean, what quality is it?
Right.
And I don't want to put that on my family.
Yeah, I don't want them to worry about it.
Yeah, but I think it's any decision like that. I think it's really hard for the family. But I think there is peace. I think it's really kind for the family, for your loved ones to know what your wishes were.
Yeah, I think we encountered it when his dad passed, and it was so brutal.
And he didn't have a plan.
He just kept refusing to have that.
Yeah. Well, it's agency, right? It's like if you know, that's what everybody wants, is to have agency over your own life. And if you think about, you're making it a little bit easier for your loved ones to make that call.
I think, actually, now that I think about it, I think he did say, like, no resuscitation.
Okay.
But it's
still sad.
I know.
It is sad.
Why does getting old have to be so,
I know.
Like the heart aches.
It does.
Thinking about these kind of topics and like.
So I will say that because it was winter not long ago, right? I mean, we're just
it was officially spring.
Yeah. I was thinking about like snow and shoveling snow, and I recently saw a TikTok. Recently, as in like within the last couple of months, I would say, that 44, the new recommendation from the American Heart Association is that if you are 44 years old or older, you should not be shoveling snow. You should not even.
Fuck?
Yes.
I'm 42, Jane.
Don't shovel snow.
Why?
Just like start now. Because it puts the act of shoveling snow, particularly the act of lifting snow, and snow can be very heavy, lifting snow and
can pull out your back,
throwing it over your shoulder, over your heart. It's that action of throwing over your heart can not pull out. I mean, that too, the physicality of it, but it puts so much stress on your heart. And it's in cold weather. Whoa. So your heart is working overtime already. And I always knew, so when I worked in Michigan as a news reporter, every winter we had several of these stories where, people would collapse while shoveling snow. And so it was one of those filler stories where you have a doctor on the show reminding people who are
don't do it.
Yeah, of a certain age or of a certain health, not to do it. But that was my framework. This recent recommendation completely turned that on its head and said it doesn't matter how healthy you are.
Wow.
It does not matter, because that action for when you're 44 years old and older it puts you at such a greater risk of having a cardiac event.
Oh my God.
Which brings me to, are you watching Physical 100?
Yeah.
There's so many challenges there, and me being the age that I am now, I'm watching it like somebody's gonna collapse. They're gonna collapse.
That's what literally when we watch that show, that's what we talk about.
Okay.
Like, do they have paramedics on standby? Yeah. Because it looks
they have to.
And there are contestants that are our age on that show.
There are. And I'm like, you cannot do that.
Brutal.
Yeah.
But, oh my God. You brought this up. You should have. I didn't know you were watching this. My kids are watching it with us. Are your kids? We're watching it as
they're not. I don't know if my kids would like it.
My kids love it. They're like, Thanos. They're so. Oh my God! I had to tell Gavin to shut up, because in the last episode, are you caught up?
Yes.
Did you? Oh, actually, no. I'm not caught up. So be careful.
Okay.
There was an episode. How far we got. Because they were like watching with us. I'm like, you have to stop. You know how they do the erupt ending?
Yes.
I fucking
hate it.
They're like, I understand cliffhangers, but what they do is like in the middle of the
middle of a movement.
Dun.
It's middle of a movement.
Yeah. Like what?
Yes.
But the last thing that we saw was the survivors of the holding the pillar.
Yeah, which was like a very primitive. I did not like watching
really
that.
Primitive.
I did not like watching that.
I feel like this season is more just raw like
physicality,
physical one-on-one attacks.
The women have no chance.
I know.
When
That's
are they
another
gonna,
thing that's another thing we talked about. Like, there's no way a woman is going to win the show.
No way.
How could they win?
No.
Even if you think back the first season and what the last challenges were, a woman is going to pull out like a barrel of like rope that's apartment building size. Like, no. It's and I feel like they already know they're not going to win being on this show.
I feel like you shouldn't even have female contestants there.
Right.
If you're
what's
not
the point?
Yeah, have them go far. I want to see it come down to a man and a woman.
Yeah.
Like can we make it that way? I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. That's legit what we talked about. But the pillar one, it took 2 guys to take Thanos off his pillar. They had to like strategize, right?
Yeah.
And so my kids were all angry, like, no, Thanos, no. And then at the end, like, when the winner gets to choose his team and he's like building his team like the Avengers, like all the best of the best.
Yes.
And then the last spot, and they're like, Gavin was literally having a meltdown. They're gonna pick Thanos, right? They have to pick Thanos. How can they? I was like, Gavin, shut up! I couldn't watch the show because he kept Thanos. But what about Thanos? And then the last pick is him.
For last.
And did you laugh when when the camera went to him and he was like, honestly, I was not worried at all.
Yes. That was an ew moment for me.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I actually liked it because I was like, that man is honest. Because he was like, honest. Are you really not going to pick me? Like, I'm going to fucking carry your team if you pick me, bro.
You know what, though? You're not caught up. Are you caught up?
Don't tell me.
I'm not going to say anything that ruins it. I just see his muscles, and I feel like
it could be a hindrance.
It's a hindrance, and they're there, but like, yeah. I'm like,
I mean,
I feel like it doesn't translate to strength because the wrestler who's very petite, he is like a block of strength.
Oh, so do you remember that at the end there was that wrestler? It came down to that. You think he should have picked him?
Oh, the high schooler?
I don't know if he was high school.
It was between the 2 wrestlers.
Yeah.
Right? And then, but I'm talking about the older one.
Yeah, he's
a block of strength.
Yeah, and knows how to maneuver that strength.
Yes, I feel in proportion to Thanos' size, he doesn't have the strength that this wrestler has. Proportionate to his size.
To use.
So I feel
you have to be able to use it.
The huge muscles are more of a, like, he just knows how to build them up. He just knows how to pump up his muscle. He's a bodybuilder.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see.
He looks like he has an extra shoulder.
Oh my gosh. His shoulders come out to here. Yeah.
My kids love to like Thanos.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Thanos is the bad guy,
I
right?
said Dolly Parton is to breasts as Thanos is to biceps.
Like it's
or deltoids.
It's an extra.
Like, boom. Yeah.
Whew. But okay. I'm not. So I stopped right there. The kids had to see that Thanos got picked, which is the start of the next episode. And then I was like, okay, go to bed, right?
Yeah.
So they had to. Gavin would not be able to sleep if he didn't know that Thanos was picked.
Yeah.
So that's where he watched. But now that you're ahead of me, after that we stop. I'll ask, so it's not spoiling.
Yeah.
You know how like it came down to the 2 wrestlers, the young wrestler and the old wrestler. Should he have picked that young wrestler? Because he did think about it. But he picked Thanos over that guy.
Yeah. I mean, I think he picked Thanos over that guy because it would have been better TV.
Oh, they do think about that.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
I don't know if like producers had anything to do with it.
But actually, this is what we talked about. Me and Adonis, we get confused because you know how in the earlier rounds, you got picked in the top 20. And then you could pick a contestant that was in the bottom 20.
Yes.
And then these contestants are going and picking like one of their top. I'm like, why would you do that, right? And they already have this mentality that what the person that they chose to fight could beat them. Have you noticed that? And they're like that woman that challenged the man. And last season, a woman did challenge a man and she went home.
Yeah.
So she saw that and decided there's a chance I could go home, but I'm still gonna do it
for the glory.
Because of the good TV. Yeah. And the glory.
Yeah.
Is it good TV or is it for? So me and Adonis decided it's for the camera time. It's both.
It's both. It's a better story. It's a better story.
But it's so fascinating because in American TV, that would never happen.
You think so?
I don't think so.
But there was the firefighter, Ho Bong-seok, the guy they brought back from season 1.
Yes.
When he had his one-on-one match, he went for a clearly weaker guy. And I thought that was not a great move.
Did he go for a weaker guy?
He went for that Korean K-pop idol guy.
Oh, yeah,
like the pretty boy. I thought, why did he do that? And Ben's like, because he wants to go far. Because that was the challenge that took him out in first season. And he didn't have a chance to really show anything.
Oh, wow. Are you talking about first season someone got taken out that way?
He got taken out that way in the one-on-one.
Oh.
The very first challenge. He never got to do like one of those quests.
So it's like you got to use every camera moment.
I think he had to go for somebody that he could, without question, beat.
Wow.
But I thought he was such a strong contestant.
Yeah.
He came out on top in the treadmill challenge. So I thought that he would go for someone that would have given a little bit more of a contest.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that guy put up a good fight. Yeah. But I remember saying, like, why did he choose him? Like, of course he's going to beat him.
Interesting. But don't you think in American television, it's more obvious who they're going to pick?
Maybe. Because I don't watch a lot of American competitions like that.
I feel like if it was an American, all the women would have gone the first. In that round, all the guys would have picked the women.
Yeah.
And just been like, I'm taking you. But this is how like actually patriarchy worked in that round to save the women, because the men never picked the women.
Yes.
Because that would make them look so bad.
Right. Yeah. Make it work for you.
Yeah, like that would bring shame.
Yes.
They couldn't handle that. So, but in American television, don't you think a man would have picked a woman? A lot more.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in Korean culture, in that not a single man picked a woman. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think last season, actually, there was a man that picked a buff woman.
Yeah, there were a few.
But yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, all that to say, I like all the over 40s on Physical 100. I want to warn them, like, don't get too cocky. Don't get too cocky. Your body might betray you.
I genuinely sometimes watch, especially when they have these, like, it almost feels a little grotesque at how much, like, one-on-one, like, these battles.
Yeah.
I'm like, what if someone, like, snaps someone's neck?
I know.
It's so scary.
But you think it's the way they film it? I'm sure there has to be rules of what you can or cannot do. I don't know. Or they've signed every kind of waiver.
Because Roger Federer, he was out a whole season, tennis season, when he was in his last, he was trying to be so careful. You know how he tore his meniscus?
How?
Bending down to give his kid a bath.
Oh my!
And he was just like,
so painful.
He was just like, and well, he said, I just felt a little tweak, and I thought, what is this?
Oof,
that's all it was.
Our bodies.
So I feel like
How old is he now?
Roger Federer is, I think, only like a couple years older than me, probably like 45. But I mean, that was one of the reasons he had to retire, because he was getting injured so much.
Yeah.
No matter how well he was maintaining his body.
Mm-hmm. I know. I think we've reached that age where our bodies are pulling us back.
You can only do so much.
Yeah, you can only do so much. It's like, be real, be realistic.
Now my regular exercise is walking.
Walking is great.
But it's so old.
Oh.
It's all right. It's where we are.
Yeah. It's better it's better than the alternative.
To be in a walker?
No, to be alive. In your 40s.
Right. You're
dealing with all the new health stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and you taught me that. When
taught you?
Yeah, you taught me that on your birthday when you were you talk about changing brain chemistry. You changed my brain chemistry about being grateful to get a year older. And being grateful on your birthday.
I taught you that?
Yeah, you taught me that.
Oh, what a privilege it is to be alive.
Let me just remind you of that. Okay, we got to go eat some avocados and healthy
let's
fats.
Go eat. I'm so hungry.